Hello, online crew. How's it going? Today, I'm going to talk about something that will help you flip your results. This is really, really important. It's really simple, but it's something that requires a bit of effort and thought to execute, but it does have the power to flip your results if you take this seriously. So welcome to my live today. If you're not aware, at the beginning of the week, which is now my first live of the week, I do share something to do with personal growth, personal development, something to help you be a better version of yourself. So let's start off the week with the right kind of mindset and the right kind of attitude, because it's really the way you think and the way you move through life that's going to make you successful in your business. It's not all the skills or the fancy things, learning about social media and content and reels and, all the fancy things. It really comes down to you. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So if we've not met before, my name is Helen Martin. I'm your online crew captain, and this is just a bit of fun for our online crew community here. So if you're an entrepreneur, home-based business owner, direct seller, social seller, all of the above, then you are in the right place, because we to help you build your business online, but with an underlying theme of being a human before a marketer. So who's up for that? Actually being a human and doing things in a real, raw, authentic way, not a spammy way, to build your business on social media. That's what I'm all about. So if you're about that too, then you're in the right place. So couple of reminders before I get into the content for today. Who's registered for our free video challenge coming up on June 13th? So we've got a free online crew 14-day video challenge. It's only 14 days. So I didn't make it 21. I didn't make it 30. It's only 14 days. So it's really easy to get through. I give you the technical skills. I give you the content. You've got nothing to lose and a whole lot of things to gain, like increased organic reach during those 14 days, increased engagement, which then gives you more increased organic reach, a whole lot of new friends, a whole lot of support for you to create more influence online. So you've got nothing to lose. So for those of you that haven't registered for our free, let me pull it back up here on Facebook and I'll share with Instagram. If you go to helenmartinonline.com/video, then you'll be able to register for free. Those of you that have done a previous video challenge and you're already in the Facebook group, you need to re-register. Otherwise, you won't get my emails with the notifications or the replays of my videos or anything like that. So even if you're a previous video challenger, please re-register on that link, helenmartinonline.com/video. So then you receive all the emails and the notifications and the reminders and the replays of my videos and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so I'll leave that up on the screen for a little bit. Clubhouse tomorrow, we are talking about Facebook Lives. We're talking about tools. We're talking about strategies. We're talking about stats. We're talking about all things Facebook Live. So make sure you join us on Clubhouse tomorrow. And those of you in my branding course, round 28, that is also the first live Zoom call we've got tomorrow. And for coaching community members this week, I'm sharing with you how to create opt-in pages to collect email addresses. So that's going to be really cool for those of you in the coaching community. So if you want to check out what's happening this week and all those links to Clubhouse and the coaching community and all the rest of it, all you need to go to is helenmartinonline.com/events. We update that page every single week with the new links for that week. So if you just go to helenmartinonline.com/events and you look at that page every Monday, then that'll give you all the links that you need. Okay? So how is everyone? Say hello if you're here with me live. Let me say hello to a few people. We've got Dan, we've got Cherie, we've got Joanne, we've got Laurie, we've got Beth. Great to see you all here. Thank you for saying hello. Laurie is registered for the video challenge. Also awesome. I am trying to do this. I'm currently in an online vendor event. Great questions from my people on my posts, as well as more interaction on my business page. Amazing. Christina's registered. Looking forward to it. Round 2 for you. Hello, Mike. Good to see you on. Okay, great. So let's get into the content for today. So the headline was, this is really crazy because you have more control than you think when it comes to the results that you get, not only in your business, but in your life. If you see me looking over here, it's just because I'm broadcasting on Instagram as well. So hello, Instagram over here. And we got Facebook and YouTube over here. But you actually have more control than you think regarding the results of whatever, health, weight, life, food, and your business. But you've really got to be mindful of how you can create that control. How many of you know what I mean when I say RAS? What does RAS mean to any of you? If you've got no clue, just say no clue. If you know what it stands for, mention it. Stay with me because you need to hear the explanation of it, even if you know what it is, because there's a lot of science behind how this works in your brain. And when you're really in tune with this and you know what it means and you know how to control it, you can actually change your results. If you are totally oblivious to what this means and how it works, then if you're one of those people that's gone months and months and months and potentially years with the same kind of patterns in your life and the same kind of results in your life, then this is probably the reason why, what I'm going to share with you today, and you have the power to change that. So if you're happy, blissfully happy, you've got enough money in your bank account, you know exactly what it is you're doing, when to create the income that you want, like you've got everything going on, then awesome. If you don't, then you want to pay attention to what I'm going to share with you today, because you actually have the power to turn things around, but you've got to be really aware of what it is that you need to do. Okay. So it is quite simple, but it does create a lot of thought. Does that make sense? So, hello, Marsha. Good to see you on. So, Kathleen, no clue. Joanne, no clue. Awesome. So, thank you for your honesty here. No clue. Cherie, no clue. And Laurie's got it. So, how I wish I had the money needed. So most people probably don't have the healthiest bank account. You may have more bills at the end of the month than you have money, or you just you can't save. So you might be fine. You might get along through the weeks and the months, but you're not saving extra money. This all comes down to you and something called, Laurie's got it. So look on the screen here if you're on Facebook, and I'll share with you what it is. RAS means reticular activation system. Now, who knows what that means? Who knows what reticular activation system means in relation to the way that your brain works? Just let me know in the comments. Just say again, no clue, or I think I've heard of that before, or yes, I know what it means. Like, I'd love to know where your awareness around this is, because this is really powerful when you get it. But some of you may have never heard of it before. So that's why I'm sharing it with you today. Okay. So Kathleen knows now. I do. Mike, no clue. Okay, awesome. Yes, it's a psychological term. Okay, so what does it mean? Basically, your RAS is the gatekeeper to your head, your mind, your thoughts. And what you think sets off your RAS. Your reticular activation system will go and find things that are true for you and give you more of what you think about. So in a very simplest way, have you ever gone and bought a new car, and suddenly you're thinking about a car that you haven't thought about before? Like, have any of you got a favorite type of car? And when you start thinking about that car, you just suddenly start seeing that type of car on the road when you've never really noticed that car before. Who can relate to that? So suddenly when you start seeing something, or you start seeing patterns in numbers, so you might see 222 or 333 or 111, and then suddenly they're appearing everywhere. It's because your RAS is at work and it's putting in front of you more of what you're thinking about. So stay with me, because this is important. There's a lot of you that have subconscious thoughts due to your past or your childhood or whatever that run your thoughts without even you thinking about it. So there's probably things that you think about or doubts that you have about yourself or limiting beliefs, basically, is what we call them in relation to what you can or can't achieve. And how many of you, like if I say to you, do you believe, like not on the surface, but do you absolutely to the core know in your gut? So there's a difference in, yeah, I know that to be true, or that's what I want, to absolutely know in your gut, to your core, you actually feel it in your bones that you're going to be $1 million earner. Who feels that in their gut? And who thinks, well, I'd like to be, but I'm not sure that I probably will get there? Like, be honest with me. How many of you would like to be, but the doubts suddenly come in? Well, I'd really like to be, but I'm just not sure if I can sort of get there. Okay. So if that's the way that you actually think, that's what plays out for you. So what your RAS will go and do is prove that. What I'm trying to say here is what you think about. This is how the brain works. This is how the psychology of the brain works. What you think about the most, positive or negative, your RAS will ensure that that is true for you. So if you spend a lot of time thinking about the money that you don't have, if you spend a lot of time thinking about the struggles that you have with your health in life, bills, finances, relationships, if you spend most of your time thinking about certain things, your RAS doesn't know the difference between positive and negative. It'll just focus on what you think about the most and make it true for you. So if deep down you have a lot of limiting beliefs and you would like to be $1 million earner, but subconsciously your thoughts go, I'll probably never get there, your RAS will make sure you never get there. Did that make sense? So what you think about the most, think of like the red car or the Porsche or the whatever your favorite car is or the next car that you're going to buy. Suddenly you see that kind of car a lot on the road. And like, I don't know, it was about 6 months or a year ago, I got fascinated in Porsches. I'm not sure why. I'm not going to buy one, but I got fascinated with Porsches and I see them to this day because there's something that just makes me focus on Porsches. If there's a Porsche on the road, I'm going to see it. My RAS goes and focuses, well, gives me more of what I think about the most. Okay, I don't think about Porsches all the time, but it's something on my radar. So it goes and proves, my thoughts to be true. So here's where it works for you. I wrote this stat down. Listen to this. In a 24-hour period, your RAS is going through about 3 years worth of phone data. So just think about that for a sec. So you got 3 years of phone data for your RAS to work out what you actually see and hear and focus on in a 24-hour period. So when we talk about RAS, and I mentioned at the beginning, it's the gatekeeper of your mind. It's what gets in. And if you let everything in, every stimulation, like everything on the radio, everything on the TV when you turn it on, if your brain actually let it all in, you would go nuts. So your RAS filters your life and it will bring you more of what you think about the most, positive or negative, because it doesn't know the difference. So what are you focusing on? Am I making sense to you? So what you've got to be acutely aware of is, what are you thinking about every day? What are you concentrating on? What are you worrying about? Are you a worrywart? Are you one of those people that just worries about everything and overthinks everything? Then you're not doing the best that you can do for your RAS. And if deep down you've got these limiting beliefs about yourself and it's like, oh, that would be nice, but I don't think I ever could, your reticular activation system will go and prove and make true for you whatever you focus on the most. So who's cluey enough to know how to change that. How do you change that? How do you go out and get what you want? How do you get better results in your business? What do you do with this information that I'm just sharing with you? Who's cluey enough to share that with me? I want to see your thoughts. Okay, just checking some of your comments. Our brain shows us what we're thinking about. Yes. Laurie, I only got it because I've read Mel's book like 3 times. It's your thoughts that you don't realize you're having, kind of. Yeah, it's coming from your subconscious. You're quite right, Laurie. And it is in Mel's book. I've talked about RAS a number of times, but it is in Mel Robbins' latest book as well, the RAS, and how important it is. Just go and read Mel Robbins' book, her latest book, if you haven't got that, the High Five Habit. Yes, I can relate to that. Sorry, I'm just... so Ford's got a more medical term, neurological function to make efficient neural pathways used for memory and habits. Habits being one of the key words there, is that you will go and do things that your RAS will go and sort of execute on your behalf because of the way that you think. Laurie, it can actually work almost immediately. Read that in her book, and was told to look out for hearts. Saw 2 5 minutes later on my walk that day. Exactly. So there's a story in the book. If you haven't read Mel Robbins' book, the High Five Habit, you just got to read it. And you can put your reticular activation system into practice after this live. Think about something. One of her examples was love hearts. My sister has a thing with love hearts. And my sister has an online following in a different field. And people actually know my sister for love hearts. And they'll see love hearts like a rock that looks like a love heart, and they'll take a picture of it and send it to my sister. Like, when you focus on something, you would just see more of it. So whether it's love hearts or a type of car that I mentioned before, like, start thinking about something, and I guarantee you within the next few hours, it could also be immediately, you'll see that thing. This is how your RAS works. So what should you be taking away from this conversation? What are you thinking about the most? And do you realize you don't often think about what you're thinking? It just happens subconsciously. And a lot of you are run by your subconscious and you're not even aware of it. So if you've had childhood trauma, you've had somebody say to you that you're not good enough, or that you'll never be wealthy, or you'll never be successful, or friends around you have doubted you about this business and they don't like it, and you know that, you've got inner thoughts and doubts, probably about the industry, about the business, about whether you can ever be successful, about whether you can ever be $1 million earner. So the point here is, with this discussion, is the more that you focus on those kind of thoughts, your reticular activation will go and make that happen for you. So if you're constantly thinking, I'm ugly, I'm fat, I'm worthless, or whatever, your reticular activation will continue to make you do actions to prove that to yourself. So those that control their thoughts control their life. I'm not kidding. That is one of the most powerful sentences that you could comprehend, but actually do something about. You change your thoughts, you change your life. So when the thoughts creep in that are negative or doubting or limiting beliefs, you've got to change those thoughts. Now, this is what I feel personally about things like affirmations and positive words. And, you should all be doing that. But when people say, I am a millionaire, like some people say with personal development, like, say it like it is, like you're already there. But what happens with that is people go, I am a millionaire. And the little voice comes in and goes, no, you're not. I am a millionaire. No, you're not. So I don't necessarily believe those affirmations words actually work very well. But what you can say to yourself is, I am a work in progress. I am working to prove myself to become a $1 million earner. I am a work in progress with my eating habits. I'm a work in progress with my exercise. I am working towards. That is believable, is it not? When you tell yourself you're something that you're not, your brain, your little voice in your head just kind of negates it. So it just doesn't work. So you could spend months doing positive affirmations and they just don't really mean much because of the little voice in your head. But if you say to yourself things like, I am a work in progress, I am improving. I am proving the results in my business. I am proving the actions that I take to grow my business. I am improving the way that I eat. I am exercising a little bit more every single week. I am like, choose your thoughts, guys, because your RAS, your reticular activation system, will bring you and dictate your actions in what you think about the most. So if your brain is full of limiting beliefs and doubt about your business, about your life, about your health, about your weight, all those kind of things, you are only going to get more of what you concentrate and focus on the most. So fill your brain with the good stuff and turn around those negative thought patterns that you have. And yes, this is crazy because it all makes sense. Go and read Mel's book if you don't believe me. But you've actually got to put it into practice. So if you want better results in your business, you want better health, you want to attract better people in your life, you want more customers, you want more teammates, you want to get fitter, those kind of things, you have to tell yourself that it's possible every single freaking day. When you do, you'll start rewiring the little nerves in your brain and the neurological patterns, and your RAS will filter out the old and bring in the new. But you cannot bring in the new until you change what's going on in here. So for those of you that have gone years with the same patterns of behavior, the same relationships in your life, the same money patterns that have been there forever, which are maybe not be healthy, you got to change the way that you think, that you like what you want out of life, but make it possible with words like, I'm a work in progress, I'm improving my finances. And you have to believe it. You can't just say it and have the little voice in your head going, you're full of crap. But this is in your control. Your reticular activation system will prove you right every single time with what's going through your brain. So what are you thinking about day in, day out? What are you focusing on? If you're focusing on your problems, and you are focusing on all the things that are going wrong, you're focusing on all the money that you don't have, your reticular activation system is proving you right every single time. Change your thoughts around that. So my situation is not good at the moment with finances, but I am working towards, you've got to change the language in your head. So your reticular activation system filters all those millions of pieces of data and gets rid of the old crap that you're thinking and brings in the new. And what you've heard this before, I know you have. Whatever you focus on, you get more of. And that's all down to science to do with your reticular activation system. So you need to have a huge high level of awareness of what is going through your brain every single day and catch yourself. It's the only place that you can start, is to catch yourself in the way that you think. And as soon as the negative pops in, or the doubt, or the negative self-belief, you have to change the language in your head. Otherwise, you'll never change your RAS, because your RAS is always going to prove what you focus on the most. So what you're focusing on the most, if that's negative, you're just going to get more of that. So this is scientifically proven, and I raise this to try to share with you, you are in control much more than you think of your results in your life and your business, but it all comes down to the way that you think and what you focus on the most. So focus on really positive thoughts and things that you want out of your life instead of focusing on all the things that are going wrong, because your RAS is just going to prove you right every single time. Okay, you with me? Doubt creeps in. That's quite normal, Marsha, to say the doubt creeps in. Just be very aware of it. No one can do like all this personal development and suddenly think positively 100% of the time. Doubt is always going to creep in, Marsha, and that's okay. Just catch it quickly. So you catch the doubt come in and go, thank you, brain. You're doing what you've always done, but I just don't want to think like that anymore. That I don't want to be that person anymore. I want more. I want success. I want income. I want money in my bank account. Thank you, but no more. So deal with the doubt, Marsha. It will always continue to creep in various times in your life, but you can't let it stay there. Remember, your RAS works on what you focus on the most. So it'll come in without you thinking about it, but you got to kick it out again pretty quickly and change the thought processes. Eventually, Marsha, it'll become natural to think positive rather than the doubt. So once you do it over and over and over and over and over again, you create new habits. When you create new habits in your thought processes, somewhere along the line, you'll just be that person that just doesn't care what other people think. Do you know people like that? That just, I don't care what anybody thinks. I'm just going to do what I do and say what I say. I know you know people like that. That may not be you, but that's somebody that is very self-aware of what they want and, you know, what they're going to. So that's all about negative thinking. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's another one. Watch the movie The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. There's also a book as well, you know, all of that kind of stuff. But there is, yeah, Heather, I heard Alan Pease speak live a few years ago all about the RAS. It is life-changing. It is, and that's why I'm mentioning it to you. If you want to know more about it, just go and Google, honestly, RAS, Reticular Activation System, and how powerful it is for you to get what you want, but you got to control what's going on up here. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there. I've got 4 minutes. Those of you in the Video Challenge Facebook group, if you're already in there, I'm going live in there in 4 minutes just to say hello and set you up for success for the Video Challenge. So if you're in that Facebook group, join me over there in 4 minutes. But I really hope you think about this and do something about it, because this is powerful stuff. Doing awesome content creation, stories, reels, all the rest of it. Yeah, there's skills online on social media that you need to learn to do to grow your business. But what I'm talking about today with things like a RAS, with the reticular activation system and how you think, this is what's going to make you successful. Okay, so you got to work on that. So thank you for joining me today. I hope you got something about, you know, from this video and that was thought-provoking for you. Don't forget to register for our free video challenge starting on June 13th. It's only 14 days. I give you all the training, the content, the tech skills, all the rest of it. Just go to helenmartinonline.com/video and register. Get in the Facebook group. And for those of you that are in the Facebook group, I'll see you in 3 minutes. Okay, bye.